And welcome back. It's time for this week's Capitol Report with Pat McGuigan of CapitolBeatOK.com. Pat, in these hot summer days, you've had some time to reflect about where the country is and what John F. Kennedy might think of the current state of politics if he were alive today. Share your thoughts.
Well, in my younger days, back in the 80s, I was part of a group called the Conservative Opportunity Society that met regularly, and Newt Gingrich organized it, and Jack Kemp was a member. And in that group, we always hearkened to the model of John F. Kennedy in terms of public policy. And a lot of people have forgotten that Kennedy passed the tax cut, the major tax cut in the early 60s that became the model for Reagan's major tax cut in the early 80s. But that's not all. There was a recent post on Eagle Rising, a website, that had a great collection of John F. Kennedy quotes, including one about the Second Amendment, in which Kennedy said it was unlikely that the fears of government tyranny that gave rise to the Second Amendment would ever be a major danger to the nation, but the amendment was still an important declaration of the basic civilian-military relationship. He said, "I believe the Second Amendment will always be important." John F. Kennedy also said, "It's an unfortunate fact that we can only have peace by preparing for war." Now, he was paraphrasing George Washington there, but that's still a pretty good line. Finally, there was this line about the nation and people of Israel. Israel was not created in order to disappear. Israel will endure and flourish. It is the child of hope and the home of the brave. It can be neither broken by adversity nor demoralized by success. It carries the shield of democracy, and it honors the sword of freedom. That's John F. Kennedy. And that's not ancient history.
No, you're not. You're absolutely right, it's not. All right, now, in the past, we have pointed out when your punditry, your predictions have been off the mark, but I think we have to give it up to you because you were right on when you said you predicted the state Democratic Party would extend primary voting rights to independent voters. You got it right, and you also talked to the author of that idea.
Yeah, you know, it helps to talk to people, and in some cases people that on some issues, not all, but on some issues I don't agree with, and that I think that's a sign, I hope, of journalism. And I have good relations across the spectrum, and I had talked to a lot of Democrats about this before the party formally considered it a week ago. Scott Inman and Emily Virgin were for it. So was former Governor David Walters, former Governor George Nigh, and former Governor Brad Henry. Those aren't a collection of lightweights. Now, it was opposed by former State Senator Debbie Leftwich and by Jed Green, a political consultant in the Democratic ranks, but ultimately it passed a little better than 2-1. Tom Guild developed this concept, the two-time congressional nominee, including a guy that did the best in recent decades of any Democrat in running for the office. They amended the resolutions of the party, the bylaws. He worked through social media. He had help from Susan McCann of Change, Oklahoma. David Holt on the Republican side says, you know, maybe we ought to think about doing this because it does make the party more inclusive and broad-based.
All right, so I won't ask your prediction on that right now, but we'll talk about that in the future. And you can read more about these and other topics at CapitolBeatOK.com. For Pat McGuigan, I'm Alex Cameron. Have a great day.